Stick talk. 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 Stick talk.
Dun, 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 dun. Hockey, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to episode 1. This is Stick Talk. I'm Tico Raspi. I also go by Risa Overbury. That's my legal name, but we don't call me that often. Or Tico. This is my co-host.
I'm yours truly. Also go by Trill. Legal name Daryl, but y'all don't have to call me that.
That's right. And yeah, we're here to talk about some hockey.
Absolutely.
Little this, little that. Play some clips for you guys. 2022-23 season just got underway, so we'll do some season preview stuff and go over some contract stuff, all that fun stuff, all the stuff we love.
Yeah, we got keep it, take it, leave it. Got some contract discussion. Looks like we got some game recaps.
Yeah, so on that note, why don't we get into your picks for this season? Who do you think is going to have a glow up in 2023?
I'm taking Ottawa. It's a rough start. My fantasy teams are suffering for it, but we're sticking with it. I like Ottawa. I like what they're building. I like their additions. I think that Norris is coming a long way. A lot of people don't like his game, but I think that he's going to be an absolute star. You got Tim Stützle. He's just absolutely rocking it. Claude Giroux is an absolute...
Stützle's a beauty.
It was a great addition. You need that leadership out there right now. You need someone who can be calm and collected in the storm.
I'm a big Tyler Mott guy. He's going to be big for that team.
I love Tyler Mott. Absolute grinder.
He's the best bottom six forward you can have. Best kind of bottom six forward. Maybe not the best, but you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a guy that I would want on my team if I was trying to maybe not contend, but definitely rebuild. That's someone who I would definitely want to stick with.
I don't know anyone in that bottom six, to be fair.
Austin Watson's interesting.
Who's Mark Kastelik?
I've never heard of Kastelik. I'm not going to lie.
Go you, buddy. Have a good season.
Yeah, I hope that you shine up. DeBranson.
Claude Giroux holding down that line with Josh Norris and DeBrincat. That's going to be...
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I really, really want to see DeBrincat have a great breakout year.
Yeah,
I don't want to see him get sucked into the hole that Chicago put him in at first.
Yeah, I mean, he's put up 40 in Chicago on that garbage team last year.
Yeah, it was painful to watch, but he made it interesting at least.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take it.
Chicago, that's a team that's just going down the fucking shitter, eh? Do you think Kane stays, or do you think he gets moved this year?
He gets moved. He definitely gets moved. I don't think that there's any way that they're going to keep Taze and Kane there. Both of them have expressed interests of going elsewhere already.
Getting out of there.
They don't want to do a rebuild. I don't want to do a rebuild when I'm... No. How old are they? 34?
Yeah, in their mid-30s.
Mid-30s?
Sure.
Yeah, no. Like, you're asking for another 6 years. Look at this lineup. It's an absolute joke. You got Max Domi centering the first line.
Yeah, you do.
That's a third-line center, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a third-line center on Arizona, and they play in a college arena. That's a joke.
No. That's a little too far.
I don't know about Domi being
Have
there.
you seen the Arizona Coyotes roster?
Yeah, I have. But you know what? I'm still rolling with it. I don't think that Domi's that great, and I think that you would sooner put Taze in that first line.
You would put Max Domi on the ice below Travis Boyd.
Well, Travis Boyd should probably be below Hayton, but I also think that Bjugstad should probably move to the second.
Yeah, that okay, fair enough.
I would reconstruct this whole line, but like that's neither here nor there.
Coach Trilly starting off strong.
Where do they have? Oh no, Kessel is in Pittsburgh now. That's right.
No,
he's
in Vegas.
Oh right. Yeah, hot dogs for Eichel.
Hot dogs for Eichel, baby. That's right. Vegas looks good to start. Better than I thought they would.
What's their cap issue like now? Because they got in trouble at the end of last season with that debacle.
With Dadonov, yeah, they got rid of Dadonov. I can't remember where they shipped him to. Oh, Anaheim. Oh, no. That was where the debacle started. They tried to send him to Anaheim for Ryan Kessler, who hasn't played in like 5 years. But
which also legal. Doesn't make sense if you have like a cap issue to begin with. Why are you taking like LTIR?
Because that cap that's on Dadonov's contract goes right towards their cap hit, whereas Kessler's contract, they can bury it in LTIR, which doesn't affect the cap hit as much.
Right. Okay. I guess so. I got you.
It's like right now we'd be way over the cap if we had Michael Furlan playing, but because his contract's on LTIR, we get a bunch of cap relief. I say that as a Canucks fan, by the way. I am a Canucks fan. Trilly is a New Jersey Devils fan. So when I say we, I mean the best team in the fucking league, baby, the Vancouver Canucks.
Y'all lost. What do you mean?
We did lose to the Oilers.
There's no stats to back that up.
You know what? Hey, Connor Bedard said 2023 Stanley Cup champions will be the Vancouver Canucks. So he's coming home, baby.
He hasn't even like played in the league yet.
Yeah, but he's sick. Have you watched this kid?
Yeah, but I don't think he knows much about who's contending right now. Like, I think he's more looking at
I think
who's drafting him than who's winning.
I guess so. Maybe.
He's just dreading that draft. You have to imagine that being a top draft pick kind of sucks in this system.
Having to go to Arizona, play for 500 people.
3,000, but
3,000. It's probably going to be 500.
They sold out every game so far.
That's ridiculous.
They're projected to sell out every game.
I call cap.
It's going to be a party. Arizona State's going to go wild.
Arizona's a disaster. Fold the team. Fuck Paul Bissonnette.
No, if Arizona makes the playoffs, I'm going to take this podcast down there, and we're going to do one with
I'm down. I'm down. I would be down to go to Arizona and see a game that
I'm taking Arizona for not basement. That's going to be one of my hot takes.
for not basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that they're
not playoffs, but not basement.
Yeah, I think they're not going to win the sweepstakes.
Okay. Who do you think? Who's your front runner for the sweepstakes?
We just lost to them, but Philly. I
Yeah.
hate everything about Philly and their roster.
They're garbage. And honestly, I watched that Philly game with New Jersey. You can't expect that from Philly very often. Like, you guys got goalied. Carter Hart was in beast mode.
Yeah, like you look at like who scored. Like Frost put in 2, and he's a third liner. So like you can't expect that kind of put out.
Wait, we got the line combos up here. Yeah, Kevin Hayes, first line center. That's just dying for Bedard.
Yeah, exactly. Konechny is a first line right wing. Like, he's having a great year. He looked really good. His shot was killer. But
Scott Laughton on your first, yeah, like this is a tough team.
Yeah, and I mean, like they did their scouting. Blackwood's had some really, really tough times on his glove hand lately. His low glove is just atrocious. So they just picked their spots.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to dip back real quick and find out who you were taking and dropping on the list for.
Yeah, absolutely. Who do we have listed there?
We already had Ottawa as a glow up and Philly as a drop, and I took Arizona as like a pleasant surprise, but nothing that's to be cherished.
Vegas looked really good in that first game, but I'm still taking them as a drop. Goaltending, I can't remember who they have in net, but he looked good. But it's one thing to look good for a couple games; it's another thing to look good for a season, and I don't think that's gonna happen.
We're talking about Thompson, right? Their goaltender.
Pull that up.
Logan
Thompson, Aiden Hill.
I took Thompson in my fantasy, actually. I have a good feeling about him.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I have a good feeling about that. I think that if they have issues, their issues are going to come with their forwards not producing the way they should.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Eichel looks great. If Eichel can really ball out this year, they're going to have a good time, I think.
Yeah. I think
Logan
that
Thompson? Okay, let's what did he play last year? 2 games. Yeah, I mean 945 through 2 games, sure, but it's 2 games. It means nothing to me.
Yeah, I mean he also played in the playoffs though. He had a great showing in the playoffs because Leonard got hurt, right? I'm pretty sure that's what won him this position, if I'm not mistaken.
But did he win the position, or did Lehner get hurt and they have no options because they have no cap?
It's like a bit of both.
Yeah.
Bit of both, but I mean, like that's kind of how the Devils walked into the Blackwood situation too,
Right.
and that went pretty well for.
That's how the Demko situation happened too. We got Markstrom got hurt in that series against Vegas.
Yeah, now
And Demko balled out.
Now you have a certified guy for your franchise. Like
that's very true. I also think the Bruins are going to take another step back. They're always going to be good as long as they have that core of those like Marchand and Bergeron, Pasternak, whatever. But they're all getting a little bit older. They didn't make any real needle moving moves. I don't see them going very far this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in the Bruins lineup, and that's because they look like a lot of what the Devils didn't want.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like your first line has Taylor Hall, your second line has Zaka. Zaka's arguably the biggest bust out of that draft class so far.
Yeah.
Taylor Hall's been on nothing but a plummet since he won the Hart. Bergeron's a legend.
Hall's fine, but he's not. I don't know if he's your guy, you know, which he is besides Pasta as a winger, and I don't know if
is Marchand injured.
really
I don't see Marchand on this list.
Marchand's injured.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Good. Fuck him.
Hey, we don't support people getting hurt unless it's Brad Marchand.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hope it hurt.
Wow.
That's for Marcus Johansson.
Wow.
You didn't even apologize when he joined your team after. It was like the worst apology ever, and it was because management made you. It was like when you get dragged into the principal's office in 3rd grade and you don't feel bad, but you have to for the sake of like moving forward.
Right.
It's like,
yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
Sorry, buddy. I hope it hurt a lot.
Yeah, I can't support Marchand. In all seriousness, I hope he does get better, and I hope he's good.
Yeah.
It's jokes, but I've heard he's a great guy off the ice, but on the ice, what a shitbag. Holy crap.
Other teams, I think the Rangers actually do take another step this year. They have some guys. What?
It pains me to say it as a Devils fan, but I wish that we did what the Rangers are doing. They look so good.
They do, and they just have so many players that are still poised to take another step. You know, you guys like guys like Kako, guys like Lafreniere, even Keandre Miller. They just have guys that are like their team was good last year. I thought that they weren't 3rd round good. They kind of got there off Shesterkin, but they're poised still to take another step.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what Miller ends up doing, especially because he's in his contract year. So that's going to be quite the question mark.
Right.
I've heard that they were looking for a longer term deal.
Probably.
It'll probably be in the 7s.
That's what, and yeah, speaking of longer term deals, that seems to be a theme all of a sudden again, is giving these guys long-term deals to try and maximize the cap savings on the back end. You look at Matthias Samuelsson, the Buffalo player that just got that contract. He's played
50
games.
Yeah,
and they gave him multiple years.
Yeah, it was like he got 6, 7.
Austin, can you pull up that Matthias Samuelsson contract? So
7 years, 30 mil.
7 years, 30 mil, 4.28 per year. Yeah, 4.285 AAV. Guys played 50 games. But I like some people were saying, "Oh, that's crazy to give a guy with that little experience a contract." But in today's NHL, that's how you maximize your savings: is give these guys long deals that will look great near the end of it. They clearly believe in them.
I don't necessarily like. There must be tangibles here that we just haven't seen because, like, looking at his stats through juniors and through his beginning 2 years, like he played 2 games in his first year with Buffalo, and then he played 40. And I'm assuming the only reason he played that 40 was more so because they were stuck with whatever they had left rather than anything else. So, like, they must have just loved the way he played and not the way he produced because.
Yeah,
like, these numbers don't look like a 7 by 30 by any means. He's got 12 assists and 0 goals and a minus 19.
55 games played. Yeah.
Like, and no playoffs. Like it's
Wow.
it's
Buffalo.
not like you're looking at like Nichushkin where he, had like a pretty decent season but then won your team a whole series.
Right.
Like that man deserves a payday.
Right.
I don't see this working out well in the long run. I might be wrong. Like I haven't seen him play, but
I haven't seen the guy play either. I just think that in today's NHL, it's so hard to find cap savings. It's so hard to find them. And you need to pay these guys early before they demand a ton of money. And obviously that's gonna result in some bad gambles, but I think that's the only way to maximize cap savings in the long term.
I almost disagree. I think that teams need to start looking more at the tangibles. Like I said earlier, Austin, if you could bring up the Rangers contracts again, because that was something I actually really enjoyed, was some of the bottom 6 forwards that they had in their like they have Jimmy Vesey. That's a great forward to have. He just is in all the right places. He had some bad luck over the last few years with scoring goals. It's not like he wasn't there. It was just that he wasn't converting.
I hear he's a locker room guy too.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that's a great signing. Like
league minimum $750.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can extend that. Like
even Brian Carpenter, league minimum $750. And that's I understand what you're saying there, but when you're looking at locking up some long-term players, which you gotta do it. Like you look at obviously I am not at all saying that Matthias Samuelsson is Sidney Crosby, but Sidney Crosby was at one point one of the highest paid players in the league. But by the time they won those next cups, like 16, 17, his contract looked great.
Yeah, it's true. It did look fantastic at the time.
And contracts are only going up. The cap's supposed to jump up $9 million in the next few years.
Yeah, let's hope for that.
These players are going to be asking for a ton of money, which they obviously deserve. But you got to find a way.
Scale's been wrong for so long.
It's crazy. But you got to find, as a team, you got to find a way to make sure your cap savings look as good as they can.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Everybody's capped out except for Anaheim.
The Devils are capped out now.
Yeah.
We have $0 and LTIR.
And you guys were barely at the floor a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. I just got the update on it yesterday and was like blown away. Yeah, our roster's completely maxed out. We have 0 cap space.
Yeah.
We have
$0
LTIR used.
Nobody has cap space.
Like, can you pull that down? But I understand why the Wood and Bratt contracts went into mitigations.
Arbitration.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mitigation. Lord. Because, like you can't afford more than 5-4 for a guy like Jasper Bratt. You have to take a team friendly there. Like if you want to be a part of the solution long run, Miles Wood at 3-2, like that's fair. He deserves 3-2, but if you want to win, you're probably looking at 2-9. Like
that's fair.
You're gonna take that hit to play with guys like Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, Andre Palat.
Are they though?
They should, but they probably won't.
You have to hope.
You have to hope. I mean, Blake Coleman kind of did take a team friendly for Calgary as much as like.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why we let him walk now too. If he was looking for a 6, like.
Yeah. And I do think that it's created, like the market's really weird this year. I think that a lot of the big free agents didn't get the offers they thought they were going to get. And a lot of your kind of middle 6, 3.5, 4 million players were not getting those contracts. So I think we're in kind of a little bit of a weird spot right now where you have the lower ends of the lineup that have been there for a long time wanting those $2-3 million contracts, but the team's not willing to give them to them right now.
Definitely. A great example of that is Cody Eakin moving.
Yeah.
That also speaks to the fact that Cody Eakin's probably not above 4 anymore in the league, but the fact that Cody Eakin even had to go overseas to, I think it's Switzerland, which was just announced. Like,
yeah.
That's still a bottom 4 guy in anywhere.
Right.
Like he can round out your 3rd or play 4th.
Right.
For any team.
Well, that's about it. Can you pull up the Tyler Mott contract?
Like, it kind of blows me away that Arizona wouldn't even take a sniff at Eakin. Like,
Yeah, like Tyler Mott, that's a guy for me that earned his way into a $2+ million contract last year.
absolutely.
And he didn't go, he went unsigned in free agency all summer, just signed for 1.2 in Ottawa.
Yeah, like
That's just the market not being friendly to the players right now. And it's not greedy teams or anything like that. That's just a mark of how capped out this league is right now.
yeah, and it's a damn shame and that falls back on the NHL more than it does anything else.
Absolutely.
It's a joke the way that they're doing their revenue.
The way that it's structured terribly. Yeah.
You take a look at just like NHL center ice. This is great because this was a topic that we had to roll into anyways.
Yeah.
Sportsnet now, oh my lord.
Yeah.
Like, way to just give away all of your IP. Just a terrible move. You talk about a waste of revenue space and how you're talking about pimping out jerseys to brands just so you can have a little bit of extra pocket change to support your dying teams like Arizona that you just refuse to acknowledge are not going to succeed.
Yeah.
And you have all of this empty space. Commercial break in progress. Why don't you just hire someone to make 50 phone calls a day to every Fortune 500 company out there? I guarantee you one of them has a mill here and there to run some ad space on your NHL center ice. You have enough subscribers.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Why I'm sitting there staring at a blank screen. The NHL's talks so much about we need all this revenue. We got to up all these revenue streams. And then they just sit there with no revenue coming in during commercial breaks.
Yeah, it's like you have that space. You have the ability and you're just too lazy or too dumb to look into actually doing something with it. It's a joke. You could even just promote your own NHL stuff.
Absolutely.
There's not even an ad for NHL shop on there. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't even sell your own products. It's a joke. The league's a joke. The way that they're running, it's a joke. And that also falls on to Bettman. And we need a guy that's younger and more tech savvy and more business savvy.
Yeah, someone that's not calling the players by the wrong names.
That too.
Caleb Makar.
Caleb Makar. You gotta love him. He's explosive.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's just it's a damn shame. And you look at like what they're doing with board ads too. Like you can't even work them in until they properly work. How are you going to sell ad space that malfunctions? And
dude, the board ads are pretty brutal.
And it just makes people mad at the company.
Yeah,
which
the glitch
makes the company mad at you.
Yeah,
like, it's bad PR all around.
It is, and the glitching is terrible. Like, don't do it unless it's gonna work. But I don't know if you saw the comments from one of those top guys at the NHL saying basically that they don't give a fuck what we think about the board ads.
I didn't.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, I don't understand like I'm not in the meetings there, but I don't understand how the digital board ads would even work because you're already selling the board space to a company to have their name on the boards in the arena. So like, are you changing the contract so that they're only paying to have their name put in the arena and that's a deal worked out with the arena? And then the NHL's maximizing that ad space on TV because then why would you want to advertise in the arena?
Right. I mean, there's something to be said for like advertising to the people there.
Yeah, but you only half the people see it too because like you have to take into like effect that the boards that you're sitting behind you don't see.
Yeah, it definitely devalues the board ads in arena.
Yeah, and on top of that, it just devalues the product that you're bringing up front. It's like you're stepping over $1 to make a couple pennies when you had all this money just sitting in NHL center ice that you refuse to look at.
Yeah. And I understand advertising. We need it. The league needs revenue. I totally understand that. But when it's distracting, it bothers me.
Exactly.
When it's unobtrusive, it's fine.
Yeah. And you know what? Like helmet ads, I wasn't even that upset with. It's fine. But go out of your way to find a company that matches the company or like the team's tertiary colors at least.
Absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
And it even bothered me because you had companies that their colors did match the tertiary colors and then they changed their logo so it would stand out more.
I know.
And it's like,
I know.
You morons.
You bozos.
Like Scotiabank is red and white.
Yeah.
Just partner with the Habs.
Yeah.
Why are you with Toronto?
I know. That bothered me a lot.
It makes no sense. It's like one city over, or one province, whatever. Like
yeah, whatever. It's close.
it does. Yeah, it's like
You want to rep Canadian hockey, you can pick either or. You'll be fine.
yeah, and not like just make the biggest eyesore possible. Like good lord. Like you look at
Yeah, it
the
looks
way the
terrible.
NBA did it, and they did it fantastic. Like I mean, say what you will about Bumble, but Bumble sponsors the Lakers, and it goes great.
Right.
It matches the jersey. It's
Right.
not an eyesore.
Same with who's the one on the Cavs jerseys? The shoe with the wings. Is that Lightyear?
Oh, Goodyear.
Goodyear.
It matches.
That one looks good.
Yeah,
I don't mind that at all.
yeah, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like whoever put the work into that in their ad department truly cared.
Yeah, and then you got the other logo on the other side. It's all balanced. It looks good.
Yeah, like you look at the NBA and it's clear that you have people in the front office that give a damn about the product they're presenting.
Right.
And aren't afraid to spend the money on it as well.
Right.
But the NHL just looks like they're always cutting a corner and they don't
Yeah.
really care if it bothers you.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick. Can we talk about Elias Pettersson?
Absolutely.
Okay, can you pull up Elias Pettersson's rookie photos? Okay. Look at the photos. Look at this kid, little fucking Swedish guy, right? You know what he looks like.
Yeah.
Now,
I think I have a Young Guns card of him.
can you look up Pettersson Bose? Is this man the one with the headphones and right beside that one? Is this that man not turning into a third Sedin?
Yes, absolutely.
Does
That's
he not
uncanny.
look like a Sedin in that photo?
That's so uncanny. That's wild.
That's kind of scary
Yeah,
for the league, bitch. No.
it's so funny. Didn't you guys just get rid of him? Who is your defenseman? Edler. Is Edler still there?
He left last season. He's in LA.
Oh, speaking of the Canucks, I just wanted to say, like, I wanted to give them a little like tip of the crown,
Mhm.
little flowers. Signing Bieksa to a 1 year or one
One
day
day?
contract
Yeah,
on the 3rd
yeah.
of November.
Against the only other team he played.
Just amazing timing.
Yeah.
Class act move.
Well done.
Fantastic.
Kevin Bieksa is probably one of the best defensemen in Canucks history.
Yeah.
Honestly, you look at the shutdown lines he played on back in those cup run days, like him and Dan Hamhuis, one of the best shutdown lines this team's ever had.
Yeah. Oh, they were a staple of the Canucks and
Yeah.
the push that they made. Like he was in the same conversation as the Sedins.
And I think an
Which is wild.
underrated point of Kevin Bieksa's career that teams are looking for desperately in today's NHL is the fact that he was a heavy-hitting, fighting defenseman that could move the puck.
Yeah, he was gritty, but he was effective, and he didn't give a shit whether he took 5 minutes for it. He was going to stand up for his teammates.
Absolutely.
I think that's something that we miss a lot in the NHL now, and it's a damn shame.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Kevin Bieksa, great player, great speech giver. I hope he gives one at Rogers Arena. I love him on the Hockey Night in Canada, Sportsnet broadcast, whichever one he's usually on. It's nice to have a Canuck up there, and I'd love to see him getting that one day.
Oh, absolutely. I can't believe he only played 3 seasons with the Ducks. I could have sworn it was more, but
Yeah, he was only there for a little bit.
I guess he got hurt. So
Yeah, him and Kessler were there together.
that's right. Kessler was the longer active one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I always get the two confused a little bit. That's my bad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Happy to see that.
You gotta love it.
Okay, did you buy NHL 23?
I haven't. No.
Are you going to?
Can I say that I was involved in the?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was involved in the technical tests.
Yeah.
That was cool. But like,
It made me not buy the game.
that's so funny.
I'm sorry, EA. Please let me play it again next year.
Yeah,
But-
I'll help you out, but
I'll
like,
help you out. But seriously, like I know it's an ongoing joke with NHL. It's a roster update every year. That's the ongoing joke with it, and it is. You know, there's usually a few new features, and they change the colorway of the menus and all the bullshit they do. But this game is the fucking same.
yeah, I think it's a little like, I don't know. NHL's a little bit nonsensical in the updates they make too. Like it doesn't really affect the gameplay.
No.
We put in our predictions like 2 months before we even got the technical
Yeah,
test, and
yeah.
then we got all the footnotes from the technical test. We were both involved in it,
Yeah.
and I think one of mine was, they're just gonna do some updates to the fan AI because they've been running the same fan AI for 10 years, and
Right.
sure enough, there was new fan AI, and there's
Yeah.
like a little bit new like mascot integration
And crowd presentation that they only applied to 6 teams.
good.
It's just unbelievable, man. And yeah, even like simple stuff like changing how the look and the menus and all that's identical.
Yeah, like you introduced cross-platform. Good job.
Kind of. It's not even out yet.
Yeah, like kind of. But you took it away. It was already there. Like
No.
Was it not?
No.
The capability was always there.
Yes.
Don't give me old technology. I've been able to play COD with someone on Xbox for way too damn long to not be able to do this with Joe.
Or just give it to us and don't make it the one major selling point of your game when it only half works and won't be there on release.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's insane.
That's a joke. Like telling me that I can play with my buddy who has an Xbox and then we both buy it the day it comes out and we can't play it.
But that's the hilarious thing too, is that you can't even play with your buddy on Xbox.
Like period.
You can play against people on Xbox. You cannot play with them.
What?
I know, dude.
Talk about last ditch efforts, am I right?
I don't even know how they managed to make that work. That sounds harder than just making normal crossplay.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you mean? Just
I don't know, dude.
like instead of just pumping out a new game every year and screwing everyone over for money, why don't you take a year off and then tear down your firmware and like actually put in something worthwhile that can support the matchmaking that you need? Because that's what I've heard is that they can't support it.
Right.
But if you can't support it, then like
Why are
stop
you
making
doing
all these Mickey Mouse adjustments and just accept that you need to hire someone better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're a multi-million-dollar company based out of Vancouver. Your rent is probably enough. You could just
Dude, they probably pay more in rent than they do on upgrading the game.
on their developers. I guarantee you the rent for the building's more than the developers' salaries.
Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Those poor guys.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
I know some people that worked at EA in Burnaby, and it's not a fun place to be, apparently.
Yeah. Suffice to say.
A lot. That's probably not. To be fair, that's probably not EA specific. A lot of game developers, have some tough working conditions, from what I hear.
Yeah, that's common across the industry. That's just an industry that needs overhaul, but that's not what we're here for. So that just sucks
That's
to suck.
not why we're here today.
I'll hero for you some other time.
Okay, so I had a question I wanted to bring up to you that was brought to me by one of our fans, and that is, who do you think the biggest move will be during the season? Biggest name to move?
As far as trades are concerned?
Yeah.
Wow. That's an interesting one. There's a couple that like I would look at potentially moving, but that more depends on how the teams end up like going through their process.
Right. I think the biggest one for me has got to be Patrick Kane.
Yeah. I think a bigger question mark for me is Kakkonen.
Okay. Yeah.
He's backing Jones right now. Jones is healthy and doesn't have signs of really being injury prone this season.
Right.
And there's a lot of money kind of tied up in that. Like,
yeah, that's very fair.
I don't see the need to have someone ready to predecess Jones yet. I feel like that was a move when he was kind of going through the injury issue, but he looks really good now.
Yeah.
You're looking at 2.5 just in a backup, like,
Can we look at Mike Jones? Or not Mike Jones.
Martin Jones. Sorry,
Mike Jones.
Whoa, Mike Jones. Yeah, Martin Jones. Sorry, my bad.
How old is Martin Jones?
Oh, is he for the Kraken now? Oh.
Yeah, he plays for the Kraken.
Oh, who's the starting goaltender in San Jose? What happened there?
What are we doing over here?
I missed that. I missed that whole news. Who do they have right now? They have Kakkonen and
Oh, and
Reimer.
James Reimer. Yeah.
Kakanen's their starter.
Yes.
Really? Okay. Okay, scratch that then.
They'll probably keep him.
Yeah, never mind then. If Reimer's... I'm surprised they moved away from Jones, honestly. But you know what?
Yeah. I guess it's one of those things where they probably knew they weren't going to be very good, so they're like, we might as well let this guy become a starter. Because he's not young, Kakkonen. He's 27.
Yeah, Chicago Blackhawks say Kane rumors are just rumors, but like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so was DeBrincat.
Yeah, like this. If there's an organization that's ever gonna make statements I won't believe now, it's Chicago.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think Bo Horvat's an interesting one to watch as well, as he's still unsigned. I do think it'll get done in Vancouver, but if this season gets off to a tough start, I won't be surprised to see him go at the deadline. He is a pending unrestricted free agent.
I think the Devils are going to express interest in Horvat in a big way.
Yeah?
I think so.
Ooh.
They missed out on him, and it
They
left
did.
a sour taste for everybody.
Yeah, Corey Schneider for Bo Horvat.
It looked great. It looked like an amazing idea at the time.
It did. A lot of Canucks fans also thought that was
A win-win.
no, we thought that was a loss for Vancouver.
Really?
Corey Schneider, we all thought was our guy going forward.
He looked like it. I
Yeah,
was
he
doing
did.
like absolute jumping jacks when I
Yeah.
saw that trade come across my phone.
Of course.
I was on like the starting tee.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was golfing at the time, and I was like, I couldn't even golf properly after that. I was
Yeah.
just thinking about hockey.
And I mean, like a lot of Canucks fans were excited about Horvat, but Corey Schneider was slated to be our guy. Truly. A lot of Canucks fans thought it was Luongo that was going to move and not Corey Schneider.
Definitely. And it should have been.
Yeah.
You needed to get rid of that contract.
Yeah. Shout out to Luongo. Quote, my contract sucks. End quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have moved that when you had a chance. That's really
Yeah.
unfortunate. You should have done what the Devils did with Palmieri. You yeeted him right out.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in Horvat actually this season because he
I am
is in a
too.
contract.
Do you have him in any of your fantasy leagues?
I do have him on my fantasy.
Nice.
It was like a late pick.
Yeah. I'm super happy with my final pick of the draft being Andrei Kuzmenko.
Yeah.
Played, scored in his first game the other night, playing on power play 1, playing on the line with Pedersen. Whew. He could have a big year.
I got Lehkonen off free agency. I just want to put that
Yeah,
out
you
there.
did. Yeah, you did. I know. Somehow we slept.
What in the
Somehow we slept.
world?
Yeah, that's okay.
I have Lehkonen in my keeper league too. Gorgeous.
Unbelievable.
He was playing for the Habs. I almost
This is
traded
an
him.
unbelievable misstep by the league.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
I had such a bad season last year. I think I ended up I was leading the league in like overall wins. And now
Yeah.
I think I'm like second to last again in just a
Unbelievable.
season.
Unbelievable.
Terrible.
Okay, so this episode, we've mostly just been kind of bantering about the league and stuff. We're going to do this segment where we play some clips from some social media accounts, see what's up. I'm going to play them for you. We're going to talk about them. That's our one main segment of this episode.
Love it.
And we'll get some more going in the future, but this is where we're starting. Austin, can you open that first link? Sometimes I've been here, man.
Oh,
this
no.
guy, this guy is dummying people. After the stick break, which is like a classic move,
That's
he dummied that guy good.
what league is this?
I have no idea.
Hoagie. That's a name that's familiar. Austin, can you look up Hoagie? I think his first name's Ryan, if I'm not mistaken.
Justin Pogge.
Yeah, okay. He was in the league for a little bit.
Okay,
That is a
AHL,
familiar name.
WHL. Oh, now he's in the DEL.
Okay, yeah. He
I
was
actually don't know what
overseas.
league that is. Is that Denmark?
Danish? Maybe?
Jesus.
Something. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
ACHL, Albini. Yeah.
Yeah. He'd had enough. Really, is what that came down to.
Yeah. I mean, this just is a great teaching point for any juniors out there. Don't do shit like this. Like, this is a great way to absolutely destroy your scouting rankings. No one wants a goalie that's going to react like this. No one wants a goalie that's going to lose their cool, and no one wants a goalie that's going to take a penalty.
Yeah, that's the part for me. I've broken sticks before.
Yeah, it's still not a good look when you're young either. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to hate that. But, like, if you're a pro and a stick break is a stick break, but if you go after a player at center ice, like,
don't do that, kids.
Yeah, don't do that.
We don't endorse that here on Stick Talk. Okay, let's open the next one there. Oh, okay. Can you pause this actually before we start? Because this is not so much like about the video itself, but this is a semifinals in a tournament, right? Where it goes from 3v3 to 2v2 to 1v1. Have you ever heard of a finals game being decided by a 1v1?
No, that sounds terrible.
That would make me so upset.
Yeah, I hate this format
play that
already.
Play the clip. You take the shot, it's over. Breakaway. Gone the other way. Goalie kind of bailed him out there. Good work, Tendy. Damn. You would feel like the absolute man if you scored that goal, though.
Would you, though?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, like...
I would.
I don't know what's riding on the line with this tournament, but I would not feel good about winning on a 1v1. Like, you may as well just have a shootout.
That poor back checker, though. Like, what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah. Do they get line changes? Like, you do get line changes,
I would
right?
assume so. I would fucking hope so. You're just doing your bag skating up and down the ice.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Oh, my God.
I hate that.
Okay. I think the next two are actually Chell clips because I wanted to talk about the goaltending, which is just on fucking crack in this game. This guy's having a tough go. He's having a tough time.
You're playing with Lemieux, though.
Yeah, just one of the goats. No big deal.
No, that's Brendan Lemieux, isn't it? That's like...
I think that's Mario. 66.
Oh, okay. It just looks like a Kings uniform.
Play the next one,
with the current Kings.
because that's the same. It's the same concept, I guess. Look at this one. Is the one that I was like, "Are you kidding me? How did this?" First of all, what is that?
Come on now. No.
Dog.
No.
Delete. Uninstall the game.
Not buying it.
Uninstall that game.
And this also just like one, I'm not buying 23 because of shit like this.
We did talk about this.
And I want to go back to that too,
Yeah.
because like the player pool's just depleting so much because of shit like this as well.
It is, yeah.
Like you
That's
split
very
the
true.
player pool on crossplay, you split the player pool again on like system generations, and then you split the player pool because you're just pissing people off. Like,
yeah. It's not. It's unbelievable. Jake Allen fucking channeling Patrick Waugh in that clip.
Like, it's Jake Allen. I understand if it's like 2016 Carey Price, like maybe.
It's unbelievable.
Actually, we were talking about this. I thought that the Devils should move Blackwood to the Habs.
To the Habs. That's an interesting idea. Do you believe in Vanacek?
More than Blackwood.
Mm.
More than Blackwood, definitely.
Mm.
I think that that's just a relationship that we need to move away from.
Right.
I think he's a great goalie. I think he's a great player, but I think that what's transpired between management and him with the vaccine situation during COVID makes him not want to play for us.
Right. Soured that relationship.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like a player's always going to go out and do their best, but like it's like working a job. Like
Right.
you're not going to go out there and give your 100% if your boss just yelled at you first thing in the morning. Like you're
100%.
probably phoning it in a bit.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like
And-
that's just a good.
I feel like we've all been there too, or like lots of people in any industry have been there where, yeah, something goes on between management and you or you and other people, and it just changes the dynamic.
Yeah, and it sours the locker room too, especially if like everyone's kind of pressuring you to do it at this point because the team's suffering. You're the starting goalie.
Right.
We were kind of in the playoff picture at this point too when it was happening. It's not a fantastic look.
No.
And we shelled out money
Yeah.
into Vonchek, so
Yeah, you did.
like there must be
Might as well
something
utilize
there,
it. Yeah.
right? Like, and he played amazing in preseason. Blackwood was leaky on his glove hand the entire go. He's still showing signs of it.
Right.
Got beat twice on very savable shots.
Yeah.
Konechny beat him so bad on that glove save.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw that.
yeah, that one hurt me. That hurt to watch.
Yeah.
That happened the same day. But like that happened the day after the Raiders ran into each other. So like
that
didn't need
that
it.
was a tough week to be a Devils and a Raiders fan, eh?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I phoned it in for sports.
Yeah, that's very fair. Okay, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the Canucks back end actually while we were here. I wanted to ask you
You're just gonna make me fucking cry.
because the Canucks are one of those teams that's high on the hopium right now.
Yeah, we are.
I'm not gonna lie, you look really good on your top 9.
Our top 9 is the best it's been in a decade, honestly.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got a nice balanced line in Pearson, Miller, Besser. Kuzmenko, Pedersen, Hoglander is a lot of flash and a lot of hockey IQ. And then that Podkolzin, Horvat, Garland line, I like that line a lot, dude.
Yeah, and you know what? I even like Lazar. I like Lazar.
I like Lazar too. I was really happy we brought him in.
So like your 10 out of 12 are phenomenal. I can't speak to Joshua or Aman, but
Yeah, they're fresh blood. But then that back end is where it gets interesting. The only thing keeping us out of being a bottom 5D in the league is Quinn Hughes.
I was kind of thinking that too. Like I don't know much about Riley Stillman, but that speaks to the issues there.
Yeah, Riley Stillman is kind of an in-betweener. Like we just traded Josh Dickinson for him. Big body, it's fine, whatever. Luke Shen on a top pairing is really tough.
Yeah, this tails back to like moves I'm expecting to see happen.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are gonna have to do something with this back end.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think you're gonna be able to move OEL. That contract's way too huge. You're gonna be stuck with it the way the Devils were stuck with Subban.
You know what though? I don't think they want to move OEL. Honestly, as much as he's overpaid, he played really well for us last year. We don't have anyone to replace him if we move him, I think is the big thing.
Yeah, that's also like you're kind of handcuffed. He's a righty, right?
No, he's a lefty.
Okay, well, not really then. There's a lot of left defensemen in the league that you can probably shop for. It's the contract that's the bigger issue at 8-2. Holy Jesus.
Wait, what is it?
8-2.
8-2. Is that with the retention though? Because I know that Arizona is retaining on that contract. This contract was involved in a retained salary transaction. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I even then, like, just pairing
not a
Hughes
ton,
with
though.
Shen is just such a...
You know what though? The thing about that for me is like that line works really well. Luke Shen plays great with Quinn Hughes. The problem for me isn't actually Luke Shen with Quinn Hughes. The problem for me is playing Luke Shen 22 minutes a night. He's too old for it.
Yeah.
You can if you can play Quinn Hughes and Luke Shen together for 15 minutes a night, you're doing great. But the problem is we need Quinn Hughes playing a lot more minutes than that.
Yeah, you need another guy that can share that workload with Quinn.
Yeah.
I don't hate a lot of the little pieces. Like Pullman, you could definitely get some workability out of, but you need to pick up like even just a Severson type player. Like I'm referencing a lot of Devils players here, but like
That's what we do.
Yeah, or even like
I kind of disagree though, because like we have Tyler Myers as well, who's not there because he's hurt right now, but we don't need a puck moving defenseman to play with Quinn Hughes. We need a stay at home defenseman to play with Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, but I think that you could probably teach one of your younger players to be that,
right,
rather than just look for one.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that puck moving defensemen are going to become much more of an asset in the next 5 years, especially if you look at the way that Colorado's structured around Makar.
Yeah.
The way that the Devils are going out of
Vontae's.
their way to draft Nemec. Like,
Yeah, Nemec. Yeah.
There's a big emphasis on having to have more than one hat in the NHL now.
Well, so here's the thing though. Don't get me wrong. Like a puck moving defenseman is soon going to be just called a defenseman, right? Like that. It's a necessity. But like, it's not so much about being able to make that first pass and move that puck. It's about, like, Quinn Hughes likes to join the rush. He's gonna jump up in these plays, and like you can have a defenseman that can move the puck that's still a stay at home defenseman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like a great example of the type of player that I'm talking about is like the Josh Mansons.
Yes.
Like a fantastic two-way. I was ecstatic when I saw that Colorado picked him up. I was like, that is such a great pickup.
I quite like Josh Manson.
I think that speaks a lot to the Ducks too. I don't know what they have going on over there, but they just make great defensemen.
Yeah, they do.
Like Sammy Vatanen's one of my favorite defensemen.
Right.
And like we snagged him from them.
Yeah. They must have a really good development system there.
Yeah, same with the Jets.
Yeah.
Like Pionk, Morrissey.
Yeah.
They have another guy now making moves down there.
Well, and Trouba, as much as he's a headhunting fuck, they developed him well before they sent him to the Rangers.
Yeah. Oh, DeMello. Duh.
Oh yeah, DeMello.
They traded for him though, didn't they? That's a later addition. I don't think he came through their system. Dillon too.
Yeah, maybe.
Brennan Dillon. Nate
Yeah.
Schmidt's a great addition too. I forgot that he went to the Jets. That's great for them.
Yeah, that was another weird one by Vancouver. Like we gave up a third rounder to get him, and then we got a third rounder to get rid of him.
Yeah, I think that speaks more to like you guys and where you wanted your cap space to be.
Well, and it was the COVID year, and he just didn't really get along with the team. Apparently, just didn't really fit in the room.
Well, I mean, you have to imagine that like his morale wasn't that great to begin with.
Yeah.
Like you just took a team friendly for Vegas.
Yeah.
And then they absolutely dogged you.
You. As they do everyone.
Yeah. So Vegas is basically the frat guy of the NHL. Like, oh, thanks for the night. Here's your clothes. Get out. Like there's a 10 for an Uber.
Over under on Jack Eichel finishing that contract in Vegas.
I take it. I say he plays it out, but only because he has an NTC, right?
Yeah, no move clause. It's 4 years left.
He's not moving.
Yeah. I don't know. They traded Dadonov to Anaheim when Anaheim was on his no trade list.
Yeah, I'm not sure like what the extent of that NMC is, but
Yeah.
I for sure don't see him moving. I'd sooner see them doshing Kessel somewhere.
Yeah, Kessel's a guy because I think he's only on a 1 year. I could definitely see him getting shipped.
Yeah, if they're not contending, they're not gonna keep him.
I think they'll contend though.
I think they will too. That's why I'm keeping them, and I'm not dropping them from my expectations.
I think at minimum they'll be a bubble team. I think there's a chance they don't make playoffs for sure, but I don't see them being way out of the play.
Yeah, like I hold a lot of these guys in high regard. Like you got William Karlsson, who's now on the third line, probably rightfully so. He was definitely not a first or second liner.
No.
Marcia Show moving down is kind of a shock, but that's great depth. Will Carrier, love Carrier. Keegan Colser is a great little gem to have on that back end. He's not spoken about enough.
Yeah.
Mark Stone is concerning because he just had that surgery.
Yeah.
They apparently pulled some really nasty crap out of his back.
Really?
Yeah, apparently like one of his, I think it was whatever's in your spine, it pushed out and then like became like firm, and then it was pushing back into his spine.
Right.
Creating all this pressure, so they had to like completely remove it.
Okay, Austin, can you pull up FL there?
Lumbar discectomy.
Jesus
Ugh.
fucking Christ. All right, so that's all I got. That's all you got?
Yeah, that's all I got for now.
Alrighty, this has been episode 1 of the Stick Talk podcast. I'm Tico Raspy. That's yours truly.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, always a pleasure. You can find me at Tico Raspy on Instagram. Find him at yours trilly on Instagram.
Let me know if you hated my takes, if you loved them, what you want to hear more of, what you want to hear less of. We'll focus on separate teams if, there's someone you want to have brought up.
That's right. That's right. And yeah, drop a like, drop a share if you like to share it with people, and subscribe would help us greatly. So yeah,
Absolutely. Take care. Stay safe. Keep your head up.
keep your head up.
Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick